My dear Christian, our talk in a very, very important topic. Watching this video and achieving what I will say now is very, very important. Watching this video and achieving what I will say now is a matter of life or death. I will say for the last time, watching this video from the beginning to the end is a matter of life or death. For that, I want you to hear me very well. Hear me with your heart. Don't hear me with your ears. I'm sure if you hear me with your heart, my talking will penetrate your heart, because most of Christians are not arrogant, are not proud. If they know the correct way, they walk in the correct way. If they hear the correct advice, they follow the correct advice. I will talk about very great and incredible scientific miracles in the Holy Quran and Sunnah, and I will make spots about very important points in your books. And we'll make a comparison. Hear me very well for 5 minutes only. The God said in Surah eltharyat in chapter number 27 in verse number 47, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. The God said, and we constructed in the Holy Quran, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. Which means that the God said that He will keep expanding the heaven until the last day. The recent science proved that the heaven expands with a very high velocity, which it reaches 30,000 light years every 1 second, because there are 275 million stars are created or born every day. For that, the heaven has to be expanded to accommodate these huge numbers of stars. And if the university doesn't expand, if the heaven doesn't expand, the university will be burst. How the Prophet Muhammad knew this very important fact for more than 1,400 years, and he was an illiterate man, can't read and can't write. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the God created the seven heavens and the seven grounds in 6 days, and then he got very tired. For that, he gave himself a break in the Saturday, because he was very tired. Is that logic? Is that reasonable to insult the God and say to him, the God who has unlimited power, that he was very tired after creating the grounds, and he give himself a break? Also, another very great miracle in our books. The Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith that the fly, if the fly falls in the vessel, dip all of it and then remove it, that one of its wings is a disease and the other is a treatment. The recent science proves that one of the wings of the fly contains antibiotics. For that, the Prophet Muhammad ordered us, if the fly falls in the vessel, to dip all of it. When you dip all of it, it will drop the antibiotics in the vessel, and it will kill the parasites and the microbes which fall from the another wing, and it will clean and pure the vessel. There are more than great study in USA and Australia prove this very great fact. And now they produce antibiotics from the body of the fly for the treatment of many diseases. The Prophet Muhammad said that from more than 1,400 years before the recent science proves that. And this great miracle pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that from more than 1,400 years? In the opposite side, you said in your books that the great prophet Dawood has committed adultery, the big sin, adultery, with the wife of his army commander. His army commander, which was called Uriah. He make a legal relationship. He makes sex with her behind her husband, because she was very beautiful, and he saw her when she was washing. He loved her, and they make adultery, the big sin, with her. Is that logic to insult the great prophet Dawood? And also you said about the son of Dawood, that he was the big son of Dawood, was having a very beautiful sister. The big son said to his sister that he want to sleep with her. He said to him, how much you will pay to me? And he paid to her, and he sleep with her. And once the great prophet Dawood knew this illegal relationship, he got very angry, but he don't punish his son, because he was loving him, and he was handsome, and he will be inherited the prophecy after him. Is that logic? Is that reasonable to insult the great prophet Dawood and said about him that? Another very great miracle in our books. The God said, the Prophet Muhammad said, every human being is created about 360 joined, and he has to offer every day a charity or donation for every joint. His friends said to him, it's too hard to make that. He said to them, if you pray 2 rakas in the early morning, it will be equivalent for all that. The recent science proves that every one of us is created about 360 joined, like Muhammad said, for more than 1,400 years. How he knew that? And this fact, which was discovered from few years only. How he knew that every one of us is created about 360 joined, and he was an illiterate man can't write. In the opposite side, you said in your books that God settled down from the sky to the ground, and he meet the Prophet Yaqub, and the Prophet Yaqub said to him, can you fight me? The God said yes. Allah said yes. Okay, and he fight with the Prophet Yaqub, and the Prophet Yaqub beat him. And after he beat him, he held him from his clothes and said to him, I will not leave you climb in the sky unless you called me Israel. For that the God called him Israel. Is that logic? The human being, the weak human being, beat it the God, beat it the Allah which have unlimited power, and they hold him from his clothes. What is that? Who the crazy man who wrote this fact and these unreasonable things? In the opposite side, the God said in our books a very great miracle. The God said in Surah Al-Najm, in verse number 45 and 46, in chapter number 27, and he created the 2 types, the 2 mates, the male and the female, from a sperm drop when it is emitted. Which means that the God said that he created the 2 types, male and female, from the sperm of the man. The recent science proves that the sperm of the man controls the type of fetus, and there is no relationship between the egg of the woman and the type of fetus. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that? And it was well known that in the past that the egg of the woman control the type of fetus, until the recent science proved and discovered that the sperm of the man control the type of fetus. And there is 2 types of sperms, feminine sperm and male sperm. If the feminine sperm fertilize the egg, the fetus will be female, and if the male sperm fertilize it, the fetus will be male. The Holy Quran said that from more than 1,400 years, and said that the 2 types, male and female, is created from the sperm of the man. Another very great miracle in our books. The God said in Surah Al-An'am, in chapter number 8, in verse number 125, whoever Allah wants to guide him, he expands his chest for Islam. And whoever Allah wants to misguide him, he make his breast or his chest very tight and constricted, as though as he is climbing in the sky. This is an example for the people who don't want to believe, who don't want to convert to Islam. Which means that the God said from more than 1,400 years, when you climb in the sky, you will feel constricted and you will feel suffocated. The recent science prove that the upper layers in the sky, the percentage of oxygen decreases in the upper layers of the sky, and when you climb in the sky, you will feel suffocated, and you may die, and you have to take oxygen with you. How the Prophet Muhammad used this very important fact, and he was an illiterate man, can read and can write. Very great evidence. In the opposite side, you said about Allah, you insult the God and said about him that he, after the flood, which occurs in the period of Noah, had an eye rash in his eye, was suffering from eye rash. For that, because the God was crying and he was very sad after the flood of the Noah, and he was sick in his eye, and he has an eye rash. For that, the angels go to visit the God because he was sick. Is that logic? Is that reasonable? And you insulted the great prophet Lut, and said about him that he make adultery, the big sin, with his daughters, and he make his daughters pregnant from him. And you will say, is that logic? Is that logic to say about the prophet Lut, that he make illegal sex with his daughters and make them pregnant? And also you said about the prophet Sulaiman, that he returned to be unbeliever in his last life, and he drink the wine. You insult the God, and you insult the great prophets. In the opposite side, There are I will talk about a very important great miracle in our book. The non-believers said to the Prophet Muhammad, if you're really a prophet from God, split this moon for us into two parts and we believe you and support you. He said to them, can you give me a charter, a strong promise about that? They said, yes. He prayed to God and the moon has split it into two parts. They said to him, you charmed us with magic. He said to them, why you broke your promises with me? I achieved what you want. So he said, no, it is a magic. He said to them, okay, there are messengers who come after 2 days. We can ask them if they saw, which we saw. This means that it is not a magic. They said, okay, because do you know that the magic affects only the people in front of you, near you, but doesn't affect the people far away from you. The messengers came after 2 days and they said that we saw a very strange thing. We thought that the moon has split it into two parts and he was astonished. What is the matter? They said to him, no, your magic is very strong. It goes for a long way. For that, the God settled down in Surah Al-Qamar, in chapter number 1, in verse number 27. The last day has been soon, and the moon has split it. And if they saw a great miracle, they don't believe, and they said it is a strong magic. And this always the character of the non-believers. They asked for a great prophet, and then they broke their promises, and because they are arrogant and liars, although they know that this man is a prophet. And I hope you are not like these people. When the instruments dropped on the surface of the moon, they found a very long crack. They found a crack. The length of this crack is 125 kilometers, and the width of this crack is 1,500 meters, and the depth of this crack is 500 meters. They was astonished. They never saw a crack like this in the ground. They make studies about this crack. They found that this crack impossible to come as a result of earthquake or volcano or any another thing. And one of the scholars of NASA agency said that our studies prove that the moon has broken in the past and then it sealed another time, which proves without any doubt that the God has split the moon for his prophet for more than 1,500 years, as the Holy Quran said. What do you want more than that? Another very great miracle. A big scholar, non-Muslim Japanese scholar called Masaru Emoto, make a great book called Message from Water about the incredible effect of reciting the Holy Quran on the water, and he found many strange things. He found that the crystals of the water changed to make very beautiful structures and geometric structures, like after reciting Quran on it. He take full images for these structures and he put them in his book. And he makes studies about the water. He found that the characters of the water and the benefits of the water changed to be better and better in the treatment of many diseases after reciting the Holy Quran with it. And he wrote all that in his book, Message from Water. All these miracles, it drop in a big sea from hundreds and hundreds of great miracles in the Holy Quran and Sunnah, which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam every day. This is your book and this is our book. 50,000 Christians converted to Islam every year in Egypt, and 5 Christians every 1 hour converted to Islam in USA because of these miracles. Which means, if I told you to look at the sun in the sky and you told me that you don't see anything, this means that you are arrogant or you are blinded man or you are liar. You have to know that the miracles in the Quran and Sunnah is stronger than the light, and the miracles in the Quran and Sunnah is stronger than the light of the sun in the sky. And you have to know the Holy Quran, which contains all these miracles, said in chapter number 3 in verse number 85, any person will accept any religion unless Islam will not be acceptable from him, and he will be from the big losers in the last day. And the Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, I swear with whom my soul is in his hand, any person hear about me, Jewish or Christian or any another religion, and don't believe me and don't believe the religion I came with, he will be one of the hell people. You will be one of the fire people if you don't convert to Islam. I made this video because I care about you. I afraid about you. I don't want you to fall in fire. You will fall in fire and you will never come out of it. Don't destroy yourself. You will lose the paradise. You will bite your fingers in the last day and you will cry, but you will not cry with tears, you will cry with blood. And you remember what I say now, and you will blame yourself and stroke yourself because you don't obey me, but the time will be off and the door will be closed. And you will hope to return to the life for 1 second to convert to Islam, but the time will be off and the door will be closed. Now I finished what I want to say. I want to say one thing only. Drop under this video and read all the miracles which I have written and press the links. I will write under this video 8 great miracles provided with links to prove what I say. Press these links and to make sure of what I have from what I have written. And after that, you don't have any excuse. And you will destroy yourself, and you will be the killer of yourself if you don't obey me and convert to Islam.